So the carrots were looking really good at my market, and the best part of buying them is that they usually come with their tops. So I say, found a great carrot, pesto it.
Pesto it.
I am making my roasted carrots with Carrot Top Pesto.
Oh,
and I love this technique because it's root to stem or nose to tail cooking, and it cuts down on the waste.
Nice.
Which we love. The thing about Carrot Tops is they can vary from carrot to carrot, so you gotta kind of give them a little taste. I just cut them off, keep this carrot separate, and then I just pick the tops. I don't really want too much of that stem. Sometimes they can be a little bit bitter. So if you're making this pesto, you just have to taste and kind of adjust. Maybe a little extra honey or a little pepper if you need it, right? So we just stem those tops, and we'll deal with those in a second. For the carrots themselves, I leave a little bit of that on, especially in summer and spring when the carrots are tender. A little bit of olive oil to start, right? And that way, everything else that you put on there will stick, right? I've got between 12 and 14 carrots here, and I'm gonna load it with 2 teaspoons of just sweet curry powder.
Whoa.
Ooh, oh, I love this recipe already. Everything about it, I'm loving.
Yeah, I mean, the minute you put the curry powder on the carrots, they just turn into something else, right?
And it doesn't look like you peeled them either.
No. I've got my food processor, Katie, and even though I'm using the oven, I am otherwise following your philosophy. Pepper, right on there, right?
Kindred spirits, Alex.
Yes. Oh, I agree, though. Come on, you know, one piece of equipment, one appliance, and we're done. You notice how the guys are like, oh,
Yeah, I mean,
girls'
like,
night.
I
you guys
also
want
like
us
that
to
you left
leave?
them whole.
I mean, we're here too. We have feelings, okay? We like carrots too.
Do you?
Yeah, we really do.
I love a whole roasted carrot, though, instead of cutting it up. Like, there's something, like, it's more filling somehow.
Yeah, it's the hot dog of your world, Katie. I have no doubt.
We did
Yes.
that once, remember?
Yeah,
we
we
did the
made
hot
carrot
dog
hot
carrot. Still not.
I'm
also
so
like
excited
these-
about the curry powder.
These are one thing put outside in the grill when it's nice hot flame, just like this.
Really?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
See, it's so funny. I only think oven, but I would think they'd be really cool.
Burn them,
Just
you
low
burn
heat,
them.
you burn them.
You burn them, and you let them cook on the slow after. We gotta burn them first. They're so great.
This dish is also because I'm fighting the I'm so tired of carrots with cumin and yogurt on every
Yes.
restaurant menu. This is fighting the burnout of that. So I'm gonna roast these in the oven at 375 for 15 to 20 minutes until they're cooked through. And in the last like 2 minutes of cooking, we're gonna put a little brown sugar and pop them back in the oven so the brown sugar doesn't burn.
Alex, great idea putting that brown sugar on there. It's gonna get all sweet and caramelized.
So here are some that are cooled.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you can smell it,
I
right?
want one now.
That. And then a little pesto with that. Even though a food processor chops everything up, I find the best use of it is to get everything a little bit ready before you even start chopping. So this is a cup of basil leaves, which I'm gonna add in. And you really need the basil to kind of balance the bitterness of the carrot tops. This is about almost a cup of carrot tops, 3/4 of a cup, just layered in there. Always a pinch of salt, preferably coarse salt to help get everything going. 1/2 cup of walnuts. So underrated, walnuts. 3 tablespoons of olive oil and a tablespoon of honey.
So, Alex, what do you think the Carrot Top taste is like with the basil and everything? How's that work?
To me, it's super grassy, the Carrot Tops. And it's almost like the carrots miss their tops. You know, they go well together. It's like mowed lawn meets flowers.
It's kind of like if it grows together, it goes together. Like with the drinking wine from the region, it's the same thing with the carrot tops and the carrots.
Totally.
Did it right. A little, is it on?
Yeah, I think I did it.
I think
Look
you did.
at
I
them
saw
over
you-
there, the peanut gallery. They were giggling.
Yeah, are you guys like laughing at me and expecting?
Let's be honest, Jeff. Let's be honest. Yes, we were.
Yes, we were.
Alex and I are just gonna have our own show.
Yeah,
I
we're
know.
just gonna chat
God
it out,
bless you.
Katie. I can't take this. By the way, big on the pulsing. And it may look a little bit herby, maybe a little dry. Don't be afraid to add a little bit of water.
Oh.
A couple tablespoons. Really, really underrated and cheap ingredient, water. Finish with a little bit, you know, of just spinning. And feel Jeff,
I didn't say.
Yeah, I feel you're sending like
No, I love the top
food
of the food
processor
processor.
shockwaves in my direction.
It is.
Okay.
He's like hoping that it won't go on.
I know, I got him. It makes me giggle.
Big fan of the scrape down in the middle. Oh God, I'm never gonna be able to put this back on. Oh yeah.
Oh, first try.
You did. You nailed that
Add
one.
a touch more water.
I'm really into this water in the pesto. I didn't know about that.
So underrated. Touch more olive oil just to bring
because
it up.
pesto can be so heavy. There's so much oil in it. That's a great, great
You know,
tip.
if you don't have walnuts, I'm getting into using breadcrumbs instead of nuts.
Really?
Really, I love the mouthfeel of it. It's really interesting.
You mean that kind of sandiness, like a
Yeah,
what, like a toasted panko or
It's different. It's really different.
Great.
what? All right. So what do you guys like to pesto? Since we went boating already, now we're pestoing.
We're in pestoing. We voted.
I love a pistachio pesto with pasta. It's off the charts delicious.
I'm like an arugula with sun-dried tomatoes, but like a real hearty arugula. It's peppery.
Big one.
Balance it out with the little sun-dried tomatoes for sweetness.
The Papa Bear
and then make it
arugula.
hot.
The big arugula.
Yeah, like a little Calabrian chili in there.
Oh, wow.
I know that this may come as a shock to you, but I love kale pesto.
Oh,
No,
come on,
I
Katie.
What about you, Sonny?
Listen, my favorite pesto is collard green pesto. One year I was growing collards in my garden and I had so many, I just said, let me pesto them. Delicious. But instead of pine nuts, I use pecans, which made sense to me because collard greens always remind me of North Carolina. And pecans are big there.
Oh.
Oh, I love that.
It's delicious. You got to try it sometime. Pecans, collards, pesto.
That's
Good combo.
delicious.
Wow.
I just season this up a little bit. I leave the pesto like this. When I am just about to serve it, or, you know, right before, then I add the acid. A little bit of apple cider vinegar, might throw a little on the carrots. Not before. Keep it vibrant green, and when you're ready to serve, just give it a dash of vinegar.
Because the acid will make it less green, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Less verdant.
Kills the color. I also just feel like when the acid is added fresh and it doesn't have time to sit, in this case, it just tastes better.
It's like a squeeze of lemon, right?
Yeah, exactly. And you could really add lemon here, but I kind of like, I like a little apple cider or
Here's the dolloper.
classic distilled white vinegar would be really good. Something really punchy. It's not, you know, it's not a delicate moment for rice wine right now. And then just literally, I like to mix them a little bit just to drag any last bit of seasoning off. And then you literally can just lay them.
This is a beautiful dish.
So pretty.
Little tic-tac-toe, little 1972 vibes in there.
Yeah, I like that.
A little bit more on top just to let people know that there is no yogurt or cumin on this dish.
No fresh mint. There's no.
No. Well, Katie has the mint so perfect with the eggplant, I thought. And you use those carrot tops. You know, you feel guilty when you bring your carrots home and you just cut and throw away. And in fact, a lot of farmers, they have just a big bag of tops. You can just ask them for the tops.
A lot of them give them to the animals, you know, and it's a really good, makes good compost also.
The goats.
The goats, everything.
Is your hamster?
My hamster, I was gonna
Bopper?
say that. I didn't want to bring him up again, but Bopper just eats those stems like
Bopper
crazy. The stems that you didn't throw away, by the way.
Bopper. Bopper would love this dish.
She would.
Well, Bopper's gonna have to wait in line because Mama's hungry. This is just a little bit, and you know, it's fun to, I'm doing the Jeezy gather up.
You got to do that. I'm telling you, it's the way to live life.
Geoffrey makes, if you don't know this about him, he's a big maker of the perfect bite, which I love. And that's when you know food is really an act of love, right?
Can't wait to taste this.
Really good. You need the walnuts and the honey to bring that grassy carrot taste out in the tops. And it just makes sense together. I mean, it's not like anybody would ever say, why did you put this together? You put it together, you use the whole ingredient. And in this time of year, such a great move. Carrots, tender, sweet enough with the brown sugar.
I'm gonna make a nice big salad with radish, avocado, and asparagus. We're gonna dial it up a little bit with the dressing I like to call my walnut dressing. Starting in a little food processor, a little shallot.
We're gonna have some protein and omegas in
Boom.
the salad
Omega
as well.
3s, 4s, and 5s. A little garlic, 1 clove of garlic, lightly smashed. to give it a head start.
And Katie, fiber alert on the radishes or anything?
Fiber alert.
Uh-oh. We're gonna get these, again, heavily. I'm not mixing everything together. We'll put in our liquids in a minute, because I want some texture in this dressing, if you
I'm
will.
really excited about
That's
this
it.
dressing.
That's it. You see that kind of almost
Yes.
like the beginnings of a nut butter without all the oil and everything for a little sweetness to pair well with those peppery radishes, a little bit of honey.
Don't y'all feel like radishes don't get enough love?
They don't.
Zero.
We're gonna add a little acid, sherry wine vinegar.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh, now you're talking.
Yeah. A little salt from the Mediterranean and some pepper from Cleveland. And a little bit of olive oil from Zakarian Farms. It's gonna hit that up a little bit.
I smell those shallots.
Right, just a little bit, like a little bit of shallots, because no two shallots are like the same size, right? Once you get going, lovely, and that's it. Just kind of almost creamy, but still
Almost a
chunky.
pesto.
Almost, yes, exactly, Geoffrey. That's kind of what I was going for.
This dressing.
And now we got our blanched, shocked, and drained. I know Geoffrey has not been a proponent of shocking the vegetables.
No,
but
green vegetables.
green vegetables like that are super tender like
Yeah,
this
you have
will
to.
overcook. I shock them, drain them well though, so there's no residual water in there. I got our radishes. We're just gonna dump that in here.
Oh,
Just when you cut your radish, I do like, you can eat the greens of these radishes. They're very, very peppery too, delicious in a salad. I like to keep a little of that green top and cut them lengthwise like that so you know you're getting a peak season, beautifully colored, fun little kind of cut of radish with that little guy still on there.
so
saying,
cute.
Fancy.
Hey, how you doing? All right, so we're gonna finish dressing that. I got an avocado just for some, I don't know, I love avocado in salads. It's
You
always
put
like
your
a little.
avocado in the salad. This is controversial.
Okay.
I always put it in after it's tossed at the end, so it doesn't go mushed up.
That's what I'm not even putting it in the bowl, Geoffrey. I'm gonna put it on top. This guy. Lame stain. Here we go. I always like to cut the little tip off, and I like to peel my avocados. Just gives a little pocket to peel.
I think it's satisfying.
And now we got from my upcycled vertical garden, still ticking over there, tarragons.
Boom. Bold.
And now we got that beautiful dressing that we are going to put all of it in there. You can leave this in your fridge. I like it fresh. I think just vibrant, fresh, and still a little crunchy from those.
You could probably take out any crunchy vegetable you have in your fridge with this dressing, and you'd be happy, right?
Yep. Isn't it fun? And it's like, I don't know, it's a salad, but it's also spoonable in a way, right? You get a little,
I think this would be great with a piece of grilled salmon.
I'm gonna put that in there. Just like
I
that,
can't
we got
wait to
that
try
fresh.
this walnut dressing. I'm just so into it.
And I just wanna get this a nice
Heighten it.
K2 type peak here. Try to get it high up.
I can smell that from here. The radishes. I smell the shallots too.
Oh, I'm so into this.
Ooh.
I feel like you could add a grain to this salad too. You could do like a quinoa or a farro with it.
Just a bed of that underneath. Lentils.
You don't muck up the avocado in the salad.
Never,
Especially when
jamais.
there's
That's a
heartier
big
things
mistake.
in there. Always get it on top.
I didn't realize you two were so serious about the
I'm gonna have to
salad.
applaud this
I
salad.
love it.
You're breaking my chops about, are you making a radish sandwich? No, I made the accompaniment to a great radish sandwich, which is a great radish salad. But look how pretty that is.
I feel like this is a vegetarian salad, and that fanned avocado kind of mimics a chicken breast.
There you
So
go.
it's like a vegetarian meaty.
Jeff, you took like all the avocado on yours.
Saved half. I know, right? Super radish forward, right? There's not a lot competing in this salad with the radish. So you're getting that peppery, tingle of the nose heat, creamed out by that avocado and that walnut dressing. I swear, you make this, how easy was that? You are gonna put it
I'm doing
on everything this spring.
Okay, so what do you serve if you want a cold or room temperature salad? Pasta salads have been very popular in this country for a really long time. If you want an alternative, I'm gonna show you a quinoa salad. We're also gonna do a whole wheat couscous salad. We're gonna start with our quinoa. To cook quinoa, it's very simple. 2 parts water to 1 part quinoa. And then you let it cool down after it's cooked. And you can see, like, right around the edges, it actually starts to get a little white. And that's when you know when the quinoa is cooked. So we're gonna take some quinoa into a bowl. Then we're gonna take some asparagus that we've grilled, chop the asparagus up. And then we're gonna take some aged goat cheese and just use a potato peeler. Just make some shards of aged goat cheese. And I'm gonna make just a little red wine vinaigrette with some black olives folded in. I'm gonna start with a little Dijon mustard, some red wine vinegar, touch of honey, because remember, the vinegar is acidic and also the black olives are a little salty. Extra virgin olive oil and whisk away. Toss the black olives into the salad. And for the basil, I just like to tear up the leaves. So then a little dressing. This is a really beautiful salad, lots of flavor, good for you. You can make it ahead of time, serve it room temperature. I mean, you want to dress it so that it has a little bit of moisture, but you don't want to make it too wet. You still want the quinoa to be able to hold up against the dressing. A couple of parsley leaves. Big flavor, lots of different textures in there. The black olives, the asparagus. I love the quinoa. The quinoa just kind of glues it all together, and it tastes healthy, but it tastes healthy in a really delicious way. Let's move on to our couscous salad, and this is a whole wheat couscous. And this is actually Israeli couscous because it's a bigger pearl as opposed to the classic, let's say, Moroccan couscous, which is much finer. So we cook it like pasta. Lots of water, you throw the couscous in, you cook it till it's a little al dente, and then you have your couscous cooked. Now, we're gonna bring some flavor to this as well. We have eggplants, zucchinis, yellow squash, red and yellow peppers, some fresh mozzarella, some fresh oregano, and I'm gonna make a balsamic vinaigrette to go along with this as well. I'm gonna take my grilled vegetables, I'm gonna chop them up, not too finely. We wanna know that the vegetables are in there while we're eating it, and it just gives the couscous salad a little bit of a better texture. Everybody in the pool. I'm also gonna use some cherry tomatoes, some fresh oregano, and oregano can be very strong, okay? So be careful on how much you use. Now I'm gonna make a dressing for this as well. A little balsamic vinegar. I always put the salt and pepper in with the vinegar so it dissolves. And a little bit of olive oil. I'm gonna pour this over the top. Season the salad, salt and pepper. It looks really pretty. Just gonna take a little bit of fresh mozzarella. I love the idea of fresh mozzarella in here. I think it goes really well with the grilled vegetables and the tomatoes. Some basil, maybe some parsley leaves to go with that fresh oregano. One of the things I really like about this salad is the fact that the couscous is whole wheat. I think it goes really well with the grilled vegetables and the fresh mozzarella. When you want a couple of different salads to put on the table during the summer and you're thinking pasta salad, next time think quinoa or some couscous.
Spring pea salad with jamon ham and mustard vinaigrette. Katie, you're gonna take those.
Sugar snap pea?
They're beautiful, blanch them. They've been picked, they're crisp, they're delicious.
So sweet.
They need literally 10 seconds,
Okay.
not more, and they have to go in an ice bath. We just have a boatload of salt in here. So 10 seconds, shock them, dry them, and we're ready to go. So I'm gonna take these peas, which I've done the exact same thing, right, with the English peas.
Yeah,
Just
fantastic.
blanch them same way, putting them in here. Then I'm gonna take some of these beautiful snow peas and I'm gonna julienne them as good as possible. It's not a big deal if you don't do them perfect. Just put them on their side and cut like this. I actually love them like this. And we're gonna toss them in the vinaigrette. Oh, look how beautiful. Look at the color here.
Perfect, right? They're so vibrant.
Salt and ice water.
Would you say they're verdant?
Verdant.
Yeah.
Well, you know, you're the bookworm of us.
I love a quick blanch. I think it's a great way to hydrate your vegetables and actually make something super juicy like a sugar snap pea even juicier. And we want that juiciness in spring.
Oh, the smell of cutting this is fantastic.
Is this a cold or room temperature salad?
This is a room temperature salad.
Room temperature.
Room temperature salad.
I mean, I'm just thinking about this. I'm doing a little math and thinking how beautiful this will be with my brisket.
Oh, that's right.
To have that freshness with the heavy meat.
And I'm right after those beautiful deviled eggs you made, you devil. Okay, let's make our vinaigrette. Are you ready? I formed a little clock. Isn't that cute? It's 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Okay, mustard. There's a lot of mustard. Shallots.
I think of mustard and peas as going so well together.
Oh, yeah.
Just naturally.
A lot of pepper. A lot of pepper. A good amount of salt.
Wow.
Chardonnay vinegar. A little bit of hazelnut oil. because I love walnut oil, hazelnut oil, but you gotta be very careful. Like sesame oil,
Hazelnut
they can
oil.
like kill a dish.
Okay.
And
You can
and
also,
olive oil.
I just think if you do buy a little bottle of nut oil, because it's extravagant, but it's worth it, keep it in the fridge.
Good tip.
Because the
Goes
nuts,
bad
the
so
nut
fast.
flavors, they
It's
lose
rancid.
their pungency and they get rancid quickly, yeah.
So let's taste this. It just looks good. This is broken. Everybody asks me, should I drizzle? I have never drizzled in my life. I either put it in a blender for an emulsification or I just stir it like this. And if it breaks, you just shake it in a little pint jar in a plastic container and shake it up. And then would you snip me some pea shoots?
Oh, little pea
The final,
shoots.
what's that called? The final,
The pièce de résistance,
Yeah, kinda, yeah.
as
Just
you
throw
guys
'em in
would
here.
say, right? You want all of them in
Yeah.
like this? Is that all
yeah,
right?
you don't have to go so, just like lawn, just go, right? There you go. Beautiful.
Just like Martha. This is a Martha Stewart vibe right here.
All right, good. Thank you so
All right.
much. So we have, look how pretty that is. I mean, it
Gorgeous.
doesn't need much. And the texture is fantastic.
Love it.
Okay, so we're gonna bring it over here, and we are gonna dress this beautiful salad. Now, I know there's a couple schools of thought. I liked having the dry salad here and pouring dressing on top. Some people paint the bowl and put the salad, and I think it makes, whether you're doing lettuce, I think painting is better. In this case, I wanna dose this, like you like to say.
Yeah.
Okay?
Dose it.
Dose it. Katie, we hit that with a touch of pepper and some salt. I'm not gonna put a lot, but I love these creamy shallots. See how creamy that is in the mustard? You can
I mean,
tell
I think
it's
a
good.
vegetable that's juicy like this and,
And
even
just-
watery and sweet needs the punch of a
And
thick
just be
dressing.
careful. Don't get in there with tongs and start destroying everything.
I went for it. Sorry.
It needs like a touch more salt, but no, because we got some special stuff coming. What do you think?
I think it's perfect. I salted it, so
So it's
you know,
perfect.
If you say it needs more, though.
No, I think it needs a touch, but I think we're gonna put another touch on this of something else. Look how beautiful that is. So you have all the texture of peas,
It's beautiful.
some raw, some cooked, some lightly blanched.
By the way, I love the pink bowl with the green.
Oh,
And really, the freshness of this is
And this I
going to
just
be
pile
so
high.
perfect next to your roast, Alex. Talk about a perfect plate of spring. We're going to have it.
I really think this is an unusual, like an unexpected spring meal. You know, it's not your first thought.
a little
Which I love.
manchego
Oh, manchego.
or ricotta salata,
I love ricotta salata with this.
a few toasted hazelnuts,
Oh, bring back that hazelnut oil.
and a little splash,
Splash
a splash
of ham.
little Serrano ham chips.
That's the first unit of measurement. That's the first time we've had a splash of ham on
Just
the
a
show.
splash of ham, y'all. You
a little
know?
crisp it up, and there you have your beautiful spring pea salad.
That is gorgeous.
Look at that.
That is stunning, Geoffrey.
Gorgeous.
I'm gonna make a little for you guys.
I'm having
Okay.
some, too.
I have to tell you, I'm obsessed with hazelnuts. If you want to get me on board, just add hazelnuts or almond extract, and I'm there. It doesn't matter what else you put.
Well, I'm gonna.
I cannot wait. Look at this, so vibrant. And when I look at it, first of all, my mouth waters, but second of all, I can just tell what great texture.
I can't wait to make this at home.
It's the little things you did here. First of all, the cheese is so finely grated, it acts like salt. Second of all, I love that everything's a different shape. I love that even though the peas are cut up, they're poppy and juicy.
Asparagus. Look at this. I have beautiful, nice big fat asparagus. The tips look really fresh and tight. They've got a purple tinge to them. That tells me that these guys were picked very recently. You're like, what? Purple asparagus? But that's what happens when they grow. Asparagus actually grows out of the ground like this. It's very cute. And when we get these deliveries of cases of asparagus to the restaurant, they come standing up like that. So when I was a kid, my job was to snap the asparagus like that. You know what? I don't have time to do that in the restaurant anymore, so I just do this. Look at that. Super speed demon. And those guys go in my thank you for coming bowl. You know, they're woody. Maybe if I was gonna make asparagus soup, I might use those, but for today, not so much. So I'm gonna get these guys ready to grill. I'm gonna go ahead and earl up my asparagus, because I'm gonna shoot these guys on the grill. You know, asparagus isn't something all the time that we might think to put on the grill, but I actually really love it. It gives it a beautiful sort of charred color and flavor. And while I'm doing that, I'm gonna grill some bread as well. Grilling is one of those things that, you know, it's like sort of a guy thing that we like to do. My dad is an excellent grill man. He actually shovels a path in the snow to his grill all winter long. And he says, my daughter, who's a chef in New York City, says I'm a good grill man. So makes him very happy, but he actually really is. So let's get these guys on there. Woo! Little fire. Keep your arm out of there. Ho, ho, ho. Smelling good already. I'm gonna grill my bread at the same time. Okay, let's hold this for later on. And let's think poached eggs. I'm gonna go ahead and poach these now. You know why? Because I can. Who knew you could poach eggs ahead? We poach them ahead and we put them in a little bit of an ice water bath. I know, right? Who knew you could chill a poached egg? But I'm telling you, every single time you go out for brunch and you have an Eggs Benedict, there's not some little guy there poaching an egg to order every time. So eggs are really a great thing to serve with my asparagus. The yolk drizzles down there. Ooh, look at beautiful things happening. All right, so poached eggs, one of my favorite ways to cook an egg. It's actually not only, you know, healthy, no oil and all of that and stuff, but it's fun to do. So I've got my water with a little vinegar in there, hot, boiling, and I'm gonna turn this down so I see things kind of settle down. Instead of like a crazy, you know, egg drop soup we're making here, we're gonna do nice, easy cooking to make sort of an egg jacuzzi. Very gentle cookery here. So we give them a crack. We drop in very gently to the surface of the water, and that egg kind of makes a lovely little egg package due to the vinegar that's in the water. That's what it does to the egg white. All right, 2, 3, and numero 4. Let's get these guys off. I am gonna let those hang out right on the tray that I rolled them up on. Look how beautiful they look. And you know what? We're gonna serve those at room temperature. I am all about serving cooked food in a different method in the restaurant at a room temperature. That's a trick that we use all the time. So I've got a little bit of garlic that I'm gonna rub on my bread. It's amazing how one little clove of garlic with just a few strokes on my bread can make such a big flavor difference. I'm gonna drizzle this with extra virgin olive oil, my big fat finishing oil, as I plate it. And look at that, salad stuff done! I'm going to swing back into poached egg mode. So I'm really going to just take one of my eggs out of the holding pattern into the poaching water that I had set up earlier to warm it up. And while that's warming up, I am gonna go finish up the salad for this. I have a little bit of baby arugula. I am gonna dress this guy with one of my favorite vinaigrettes, fresh lemon juice, of course salt, and my super high quality extra virgin finishing oil. Toss this guy around. Perfect. All right, let's plate him on a pretty little plate here. Thanks for coming. Some of my grilled asparagus that I did earlier. I'm gonna dress some of my grilled bread with lots of olive oil. Cut this guy in half. Ready to roll. Poached egg out of the warming up water onto a pit stop. I really don't want my salad to be soggy from poaching water. So right onto the asparagus. Look how beautiful that looks already. Oh! I'm gonna grate a little bit of Parmigiano over there and a little bit of fresh lemon zest to carry on that fresh lemony flavor. Oh, beautiful. Couple drops of this. And the toast for sopping up that egg yolk.
Hi, I'm Katie Lee from the set of The Kitchen. Now, one of the things I love the most about spring is all of the fresh and colorful produce that starts to appear at the farm stands and in grocery stores. Y'all know that I love my vegetables. And today, I'm using those spring veggies to make an easy dish perfect for a spring feast. This is my sugar snap pea and radish salad. Let's get started. I've already brought a pot of water up to a boil, seasoned it with some salt. That's really important because that's gonna help flavor our sugar snap peas. And I've got a big bowl of ice water here so that we can do a little blanch on those. That's gonna keep them nice and green. So you just start by taking a paring knife and trimming these sugar snap peas. You just wanna take the ends off. Some of them have more of a string in there in the back, but not all of them do, and they're really tender, so you don't have to worry about stringing them like you would green beans. So you just take those ends off and into the bowl. Sugar snap peas are one of my favorite things about spring vegetables because you can just eat them raw, have them in the fridge, and these are so good on a crudité platter as well. So it just adds a nice little refreshing touch. I really like these stir-fried also. Just tastes like spring to me. Okay, I've got just one more left here. There we go, let's clean up. I always clean as I go. It makes it quicker at the end. Now these are gonna go into our boiling water. Again, we salted it so that they are nice and seasoned. And they just need about 1 to 2 minutes. We're not looking to cook them here. We're just looking to take a little bit of the crispness out and just really lock in that bright green color to them. I'm just gonna take my spider here and kind of toss them around. They're looking good. And you can do this if you're making a broccoli salad. That's a great thing to do, is to blanch it first. And these look great. All right, so this is a really good tool to have on hand. It's called a spider. You can also use a slotted spoon if you don't have one of these. Into the ice water bath. Just gets all of them out really quickly. If you like to deep fry, a spider comes in handy then as well. Look how bright green that water is. And you can cook some little macaroni in there too and get a little green hue on it. Okay, so just shock those in the water. That's gonna stop the cooking process. And onto a paper towel lined tray. And the paper towel is just gonna help absorb the extra water that's in there, because if they're too wet, they're not gonna hold the dressing. And you want that vinaigrette to really stick to these. I'm gonna pick them out of my ice. There we go. Here we go, we got a few more. Let's steal one. So crunchy and good. Let those dry. While they're drying, let's work on our radishes, okay? So I'm just using these little red radishes. You can use different shapes, different colors of radishes. They're a great spring vegetable. I love the pepperiness of these. And these little round ones, they're a little less peppery than some of the other varieties, but they still have that good bite to them. So we're just gonna trim these up. And I'll actually use my big knife for this. And then I like to do part of these in quarters and part of them sliced because I like the variety of texture to them. So years and years ago, this was like back in 2008, my first cookbook had just come out and I got to go on the Oprah show. And I was losing my mind to get to be with Oprah. And she was putting up pictures from the cookbook on the big screen, and she had this recipe up there, and she loved it. So now whenever I make this recipe, I think about Oprah saying that. All right, I'm gonna slice these up, just little thin slice. You can even leave some of these whole if you wanted. You could use some French breakfast radishes to give it a little something different. We've used on the kitchen purple ninja radishes, there's black radishes. There are really so many different varieties. Watermelon radishes would be beautiful in this as well. And they all have a slightly different flavor to them. So you can really play around with it and always have a different taste and texture. I really like to dip radishes actually just in salt. Butter and salt, that's a great way to eat a radish. I'll do that for a cocktail party. I'll just put out radishes. I'll leave the little green ends on them so they look nice and pretty, with a little bowl of softened butter and a bowl of salt. So pretty, I just love them. I'm gonna slice this last one. It's great. Okay, get rid of some of my radish tops. And now let's move on to our chives. So I also think of chives during the spring They're a nice lighter flavor than an onion, but you still get that nice oniony flavor. And we're just gonna mince these up. They're beautiful, and you really find these a lot in the spring. This would be a great salad next to a piece of grilled fish or grilled chicken, or on a buffet of all vegetable dishes. Once the veggies start coming in, I like a whole vegetable buffet. I am real happy with that. Okay, I'm just gonna put my chives right into my mixing bowl because they're all going in together. And my radishes are gonna go in here as well. And my sugar snap peas. So take these, let's just do this. This will be easier. Let's get all of those in there. I've still got a couple ice cubes in here I'm gonna pick around. See how bright green they stayed from our blanching? The blanching's one of those steps that if you're in a hurry and you leave it out, it's okay, of course, but you can tell. It really does make a difference. Okay, let's make our dressing now. This is a really simple vinaigrette that you could use really on any salad. So what I like to do when I'm making a salad dressing is go 3 parts oil, 1 part acid. So for today's acid, we're using apple cider vinegar, but you could use lemon juice, white wine vinegar, red wine vinegar, whatever you have. So 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. And I always have on hand a really good extra virgin olive oil and then an okay olive oil. I do my cooking in that okay olive oil because it doesn't need the flavor as much, but when you're serving it on a salad or on a drizzle, that's the time that you bring out the better stuff. And it doesn't have to be, you know, really good doesn't mean expensive. It just means one that you really like the taste of. And now I'm gonna put a tablespoon of that apple cider vinegar. And let's do a teaspoon of honey because those radishes, they love sweetness. I always put a little bit of honey into a salad dressing or a pinch of sugar. That was something my grandma always did. She used just regular white vinegar and she put a pinch of sugar in there. And I think she just used plain vegetable oil and her salad dressing was the best. Okay, we're gonna go for some salt. Put a good amount of salt in there, ½ a teaspoon to a teaspoon, because it's the only thing that's gonna be seasoning up these vegetables. And some pepper. And then I like making it in a jar because all I have to do to get it emulsified is give it a shake. If you want, you could add a little mustard to this. Some Dijon or some stone ground mustard could be good. It'll just make it a little bit spicier. And on to our salad. Now let's toss it together. Oh, this looks so good. I love the smell of vinegar. I'm one of those people that likes a lot of vinegar. So if I'm making a salad dressing just for me, sometimes I double up on the vinegar. But when I'm serving it to other people, I know not everybody's like me. Okay, this looks great. Now, if you were having a spring celebration, this would be so pretty on your table. Or just for a random Tuesday for lunch. Why not, right? Treat yourself. Here we go. Onto a plate. Oh, I'm so excited to eat this. I get a little bit of everything on here. It's so crisp and refreshing. And those radishes have a nice little hit of pepper to them. The sugar snap peas are so sweet, and you've got the onion of the chive. Delicious. I hope you make my easy sugar snap pea and radish salad for your spring feast.
Spring has sprung, everyone, and I am not wearing the right shirt for the occasion. I'm always doing that. But I'm gonna make up for it by making a delicious spring dinner that you are gonna wanna run out and make yourself. So I'm gonna start with a beautiful appetizer, burrata toast with spring vegetables, and I'm gonna get the veggies on the grill to start. So I'm just doing asparagus and red bell peppers, drizzling on some olive oil, and I'll sprinkle in salt and pepper. What's your favorite season, everyone?
Fall.
Spring.
That did not go as I had anticipated. Fall, really?
Yeah.
Probably because
Football.
summer is so hot oh yeah, okay. Well, this is a great football menu for your football games, just kidding. So I toss the asparagus in the olive oil, salt, and pepper, along with the bell pepper.
Oh, run away.
Along with the bell pepper. And I'm getting it on the grill so I can start grilling the veggies. And I am making a beautiful toast. And it's inspired by a toast that I had in a restaurant in Dallas with Mauricio and Alex recently, and delicious. I mean, we could have eaten 3 of them just as our main course. So I'm gonna turn up the heat just a little bit and let the veggies start grilling. And then I also have slices of sourdough bread. So whenever you make like a bruschetta type of toast, you definitely want to have a big surface area. So I had this big boule of sourdough, and I really wanted some big pieces because I'm going to put big old chunks of burrata on each piece. So good. Honestly, that burrata we had in the restaurant in Dallas, chef's kiss.
I've been dreaming about it.
Okay, I got the bread sprinkled with olive oil, so I'm gonna get it oil side down on the grill pan. I just kind of have to rearrange and figure out the puzzle here. Okay. All right, now I'm gonna drizzle the olive oils and sprinkle the other side with salt and pepper. And then it's just about babysitting the veggies and the toast and making sure they have great grill marks. So I'm gonna sit here and do that until they're ready to take off, and it's gonna take 4 to 5 minutes. Ooh, nice.
Wow.
Looks pretty. Yummy. Okay, I got the veggies grilled, and they look so pretty and so inviting. I just think something magical happens whenever you grill vegetables. They just turn into kind of this otherworldly substance. I just love them. A platter of grilled vegetables is my idea of a good time. Okay, now it's time to assemble the toast, which I'm very excited about. Now I have a beautiful platter that looks like it was designed just for this occasion. And then check out this bread page. How pretty. Oh my gosh, I love grilled bread too. And look, one side is kind of like real olive oily, and the other one you can really see the grill marks, so it's kind of the best of both worlds. Now these are pretty enormous toasts, and there's a whole lot of burrata on each one. So this platter of toast could actually probably serve 8 people. You could split. So I've got pesto in a pouch, and let's see, there it goes. And I'm just gonna kind of drizzle so it just kind of goes over. You can spoon it, but I love a squeeze. I love a squeeze pouch. I love a squeeze pouch. And you want it to kind of be, some of it go on the toast and some of it go on the platter just for presentation. Okay, so I'm gonna use this spatula to spread the pesto, and don't be shy with pesto. I think that is one big pesto mistake that people make, is they just put a little dab when really you just need to go for it. All right, and then comes the burrata. So what is burrata? Burrata is an amazing cheese, and it's stuffed cheese. So it's mozzarella, fresh mozzarella. Oh, that slipped right out, didn't it? Oh my gosh, this is big, but that's okay.
Oh my gosh.
I wasn't sure whether to do like half of the burrata on each toast or a whole. I opted for the whole. But it's basically mozzarella, and it's stretched and stuffed with a really creamy mozzarella-like cheese, but it's super soft. And basically, the second you cut into it with a fork or a knife, it just falls apart, and it is amazing. If you love fresh mozzarella, burrata is even better. And so then I'm gonna grab the gorgeous asparagus and just arrange the pieces all over. And then a little bit of balsamic glaze, just mostly just to decorate and kind of give it a little interest on top. A little bit of black pepper, and then fresh basil. I don't know what to say. I didn't intend for this to look as incredible as it does. But wow. I mean, you can hardly see that there's toast under there, but it's burrata toast. Burrata is the star. Serve this at your next dinner party, and you'll be a star too.
My steamed whole artichokes with a spicy lemon caper mayonnaise.
Ooh,
Oh,
Yeah,
shut
all
the
day.
front door.
So I like to use this kind of old school steamer basket.
Love it.
As a kid, I was
Remember?
Yeah,
Play
fascinating.
with
What do
it.
we do with this? So literally just enough. I just want to fit 4 artichokes, them snugly in a single layer. I've got a few inches of water in the bottom of the pot. And then to prepare them, it is super complicated. I really want you guys to pay attention. Just cut that stem off so that after you cook it, it can sit flat on the plate and you are gonna look really cool. So I like them to sit flat. And then literally just arrange them stem down in a single layer on top of this little basket we put in here. Chooks in there. The water's cold in the bottom, so we don't get any steam burns. It's even less complicated. Okay, so we put the top on and just get that heat going. I'm gonna steam these for 30 to 35 minutes. I just do the simplest test. I have some here.
Oh.
Yeah, that's it. It just does it itself. And this is a way to start with artichokes so you're not intimidated. How do we test for doneness? Quite simply, and Geoffrey and I were talking about this, just try
Pull a leaf.
to pull a leaf out. If
But it should just come out easy, right?
Yeah. Now, they do go from that vibrant spring green to more of an army green. It is true. But I just think they still look
they're beautiful.
like
So
spring
unique.
flowers. I feel like, Sonny, you're gonna love this.
I also love artichokes from the can. I could just eat the whole can of artichoke hearts. It's delicious. It's briny, it's tangy. And then also you can make like a really quick spinach artichoke dip out of the can. I like the can.
Love that, Sonny. So for me, classic, 6 tablespoons of mayonnaise as the base, 2 tablespoons, is a lot, it's caper forward, of just chopped capers. Not really any of the brine though, honestly, in this case, though I love it. 2 tablespoons of mustard. We're going for that French bistro vibe. 2 tablespoons of red wine vinegar, right? 1 tablespoon plus 2 teaspoons of hot sauce. Ooh. Oh yeah. And a pinch of red pepper flakes, just a pinch, because I also love the texture when you get a little flake, and some olive oil, about 3 tablespoons.
I like a little heat in there.
So do
think
I.
That's a good
It's-
idea.
Yeah, the artichoke is kind of, I think, wants that. My favorite ingredient of all to have on hand whenever you're making any kind of sauce is water, because you just don't know. I feel like every time you make something, it can be a little bit different. See if it needs anything. Ooh, that's good.
Yeah.
Pinch of salt, and again, compensating for the fact that I haven't added any salt yet. I'm gonna put a touch more in here. I don't think I need the water. Whisk this together.
And it's great when if you can get it when it's just warm, like barely warm, it's the best.
Sit
The
there, you
artichoke.
scrape it all day.
And then just some chives. I feel like you need a little of herbaceousness. Just a nice thin cut right on top, so that when we dunk these petals in here, we get a little bit of herb right sort of as the initial flavor. Not too much right off. Just on top.
Yum. I see a steamed artichoke on the menu, I'm going for it. And now I'm gonna be making them at home all the time.
Show us how to eat it.
Yeah, so I eat every leaf. What you're really doing is you're going for that kind of meaty bottom, dunk.
Scrape.
That's it.
Yeah, it's really fun to eat. And then you need a little bowl, like when you eat mussels. So you eat all the petals, and when I was a kid, I didn't really like the heart. Oh. Believe it?
Oh, that's the best part.
I know, misspent youth. So just to show, after you've eaten all this, and you're right, it really is a lot to eat, and it's fun, because there's a lot of, it's very tactile. You're literally, you can take your little dinner knife and just pull apart. You can eat all of these leaves. This is a lot of food. And then here you have the heart and what we call the hay, or the choke itself.
It's called choke for a reason.
Yes.
Yeah.
You don't want to eat it.
You want to take that choke bit off the top, and this is hot. which is so great. And then this,
That's the prize.
this is really...
That's the gold. That's
You
like
can
what
see.
you're going for.
It still stays really hot because all of this protects the heart. And then you just
armor.
dunk the heart and eat it. That's the best part. A lot. So here we
That's
are.
a good
So
one.
exciting. Crisp radish salad.
I love radishes, and I'm gonna shine the spotlight on them. I'm gonna make a vinaigrette, and what I've done is I've taken some orange or grapefruit juice, in this case, some grapefruit and orange juice. I've reduced it down till it's like syrupy. Nothing else is in here. So when you
like
reduce
that.
it, you get more flavor, and it sticks. So to this, we're gonna add a little salt, some soy sauce, some Chardonnay vinegar, which I love, some mustard to go with the French radishes.
Yes, oui.
Pepper, a little honey. The honey is gonna go really well with the radishes because we need a little sweet to counter all that pepper we have. And then finally, some olive oil, extra virgin, and not a lot, not like a vinaigrette a lot, but just I would say 50% olive oil. Okay. Okay, to this bowl, we're gonna add a little fennel, some radishes.
This is gonna be pretty.
So pretty, right? That's just perfect. That's enough of those. The watermelons? Yeah, okay. Just put them in here. We're good to go. Now, for the salad, I have avocado. The avocado you want to use, you want to touch as little as possible. I would, when I make my guacamole, I would just cut here and squeeze into the bowl.
That's right.
I wouldn't even put a spoon to it. But in this case, I just want to get a spoon down into it. And try not to get this end here because there is a big seed there. It's such a beautiful thing. Then I'm gonna put the citrus first
Okay.
Okay.
because drizzle is gonna take care of everything, the salad dressing. Now I'm gonna take some of this. First thing I do is I'm gonna put the sauce on top. The last thing I'm gonna do is salt it because if I put the salt then and the sauce after it, it's gonna push the salt off. So it's really important that this really coats the avocado. It does two things. It flavors it, most importantly, and it also keeps it from going brown. Oh, that looks good. A little in here.
Yes, don't neglect the radish.
A little in here. No, I'm done with that, Jeff. A little
don't
bit
want
of.
none of these either?
Don't change my recipe.
I'm just trying. I mean, I did a lot of work and you're barely using anything I've done, so I'm just concerned.
Just want to make sure I had enough. That's all. A little salt in here, because don't forget, no salt has touched this. And then we're gonna salt the avocado.
Yes, it
Needs
needs
it.
it.
Then some serrano chilies that I de-seeded and diced finely.
Jeffrey, I mean, come on, I'm hungry over here.
I'm doing my best. You know, you
the
can't rush perfection,
longest
right,
salad
Jeff?
we've had.
And there you have it. You want to have some?
I'm taking a taste, Jeffrey.
Yeah?
There's so much going on in here. The peppery radishes, the creamy avocado, that punch of citrus. That is such a delicious vinaigrette. Oh man, Jeffrey, it's good. That little hit of jalapeno at the end, it's spicy.
I love a beautiful salad in the springtime, and I'm going to make a spring grain salad, starting with the grains. So I'm taking a couple of shortcuts in this recipe. These are 2 microwavable pouches of grains, and this is really a great mixture of farro and quinoa and barley and millet and all those good things. And it's so nice because you don't have to buy different bags of grains and cook them all. So then I've got some beautiful peas. They're just frozen peas that I thawed, so they're still nice and cold. And then goat cheese. You could also do feta, whatever is your favorite or whatever you happen to have in the fridge. I love goat cheese. Oh, radishes. Perfect spring salad ingredient. I love growing radishes. Somehow when I grow radishes, they're a lot spicier. And then some halved cherry tomatoes, grape tomatoes, different colors. Things like this are just glorious, and I could eat just this for dinner. The other people in my life would wonder where the steak is that goes with it. And then just some chopped herbs. And then my second shortcut is bottled dressing, and this is a lemon garlic dressing. Oh, just perfect. Oh my goodness. You can totally make your own dressing, but this is such a great shortcut, and you don't have to drag out all the different elements of the dressing, which is nice. And then just toss to your heart's content. And you could sort of mix it ahead of time like this and then refrigerate it and let the flavors start to meld, but we don't have time for such things. This is how I like to serve it. I have a big, beautiful bowl of arugula, and I'm just gonna try to get it into a pile in the center of the arugula. Toasted pine nuts. And you can also sprinkle on some extra, goat cheese or whatever you have. But to me, get the tongs, get the servers. To me, this is what spring is all about. And how easy was that? Such a triumph.